Hello baseball fans, this video includes my Pirates all-time team updated through the 2019 season. No new Pirates made the team this year, but there has been a change which I'll describe when I get to it. Bob Friend is the pitcher. You see he has some seasons from before 1959 and his points through my stat system are on the right. And when players started before 1959, if they got more points after 1959, then I gave them credit for all the points so you could appreciate the full body of work that the player did. Catching is Manny Sanguillen. That's the same as last year. Now here is the change. Willie Stargell was in the outfield in the past, and the Pirates are loaded in their history with a lot of really good outfielders. They had Don Clendenin at first base, but Willie Stargell actually has more points at first base than Don Clendenin did. And a good friend of mine, John, looked at the video and he said, I have Willie Stargell at first base. I think you should put Willie Stargell there and put someone else in the outfield that has more points than Don Clendenin. So I've done that. So Willie Stargell is now at first base until somebody beats out his first base points. And then since he had more points as an outfielder, then that's his primary position, then I would move him back to the outfield. But nobody's close to beating him out at first base at this point. Bill Mazeroski is at second base, and he's one of only two players where I put him in a position where they don't have the points, which are based solely on offense, but due to them being in the Hall of Fame as the excellent defensive players. Him at second here for the Pirates and Ozzie Smith at short for the Cardinals are kind of cemented in their position until someone else comes that makes the Hall of Fame that can possibly beat them out of it. At third base is Bill Madlock. That's unchanged from last year. At shortstop is Jay Bell. First outfielder is Roberto Clemente. He has a tremendous amount of points. Now the second outfielder had been Willie Stargell, which I moved him up to first base. I got a first base card for him from 1978. And Dave Parker, this is a 1977 card. He's moved up now into the second outfield position. And now Andrew McCutchen had been on the second page as one of the reserve players of the all-time team, but now he's moved on to the first page, and he had an excellent career. You see, he made the All-Stars 5 years in a row, MVP in 2013, so now he's got his spot on the first page. And here are the reserves now. Pitchers are unchanged. You got Bob Veal, Roy Face, most of them from the 60s and the 70s. John Candelaria is there from the 80s. Then among the outfielders, Al Oliver and Barry Bonds were on the team previously. My friend John, he was hoping to get Andy Van Slyke on the team in making the move to move Stargell to first base. But the Pirates also had Brian Giles, Matty Alou, Bobby Bonilla, who all by my point system have more points than Andy Van Slyke. So Matty Alou happened to have the most, so he made the team in this way. So here's the whole team. You have the starters on the left, you have the reserves on the right, and these are the numbers that I use in determining who makes the team. Except for the exception of Bill Mazeroski, here you see I have Johnny Ray actually had the highest amount of numbers. His point total still wasn't that high. Mazeroski's ahead of him. The detail on how these numbers are developed is in the Al's all-time stat details video, which is in my 2018 playlist. But you see that they're loaded with outfielders in that you have Clemente, Parker, McCutchen. The three subs are outfielders, Oliver, Bonds, and Matty Alou. Most teams, the sub positions are first baseman or third baseman or maybe one outfielder, but the Pirates really have had a lot of really good outfielders. And you see in this view here of the worksheet, only one player, Andrew McCutchen, that's on the all-time team, had a presence on the team in the last 10 years. This picture shows on the left the total points of the team, and on the right are the players who either are on the team or they were on the team and they're still playing, so possibly they could get traded back to the team and then earn more points towards making it. And you see there really isn't anybody that's close to making the team in the next couple seasons. Starling Marte has a lot of points accumulated, 69.6, but as an outfielder in a franchise with such strong outfielders, unless he really ratcheted up the points that he gets, like he's gotten over 10 points 5 times, which means he's 10% better than average 5 times, which is really good, but it's not, he's going to have to be 20 or 30% better in the next few years, which doesn't seem likely based on his experience, in order to make the team, unless he stays with them for another 7 years. Josh Bell is at first base. He has 20.9 points. He just had a great breakout season. If he can put together a few more years like that, and they keep him and they're able to sign him, he needs 90.9 points, you see on the left, to beat Willie Stargell. And then Willie Stargell will have to go back to an outfield position because he got most of his points in the outfield. So Josh Bell is a possibility. So here we have the whole team, the starters on the left, the points in the middle, and the reserves on the right. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please indicate like and subscribe to my channel. I plan to be doing the rest of the teams in the coming months, for updated through 2019. Thanks. Take care.